Good morning, everyone. In conjunction with International Women's Day 2021, I'm delighted to have with us here this morning Sharala of the Center of Applied Data Science, who will share with us her entrepreneurship journey. Welcome, Sharala.
Good morning, Shaya. Glad, ever so glad to have this chat with you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Just maybe a short brief on the company before we start. The Center for of Applied Data Science, short CADS. So it's a company whose business revolves around the delivery of data science knowledge and expertise to its clients. So Sharala is the founder and CEO of CADS, and she was the EY, the Women Entrepreneur of the Year for 2017. First question I have for you, Shah, this morning is what led you to taking the first step, to set up your own business, and how was that journey, sort of the genesis of all of that?
Okay. So you interviewed me in 2016 and then again in 2017, and I remember that. Brought me back memories that I don't know whether I talk about it enough. I'm an accidental entrepreneur. Trained, studied to become an engineer, loved doing engineering work in telecommunication, never, ever thought of becoming an entrepreneur. So how did it begin was basically I blame it on my husband, who encouraged me to try this out. Apparently, I've been talking about it without me realizing. And I think he tricked me because it was a decision that we had to make in Europe, buying a property, that if I were to buy that property, I was stuck, or I would be stuck with the job I had there. And he told me, take a chance for a year, figure out whether business is what I could succeed in, and then we could always come back and buy that property. So my joke is, if he didn't like it, he could have just told me so and not trick me into starting a business. So started somewhere in 2005, and then CAD started with an idea in 2013.
Great. 2020 obviously was a tough year for everyone. So with the COVID-19 pandemic, it has had a disproportionate impact on women, including professional and working women who were trying to juggle between the demands of both work and family. I can understand that it's a difficult situation. So just from your point of view and how you have experienced it, I mean, how did you manage to juggle between taking out of your business on the one hand and your family on the other?
Before I answer mine, did you work from home, Chaya?
Oh yes, we. I think everybody had to because of the MCO,
Right. Did you have to handle your children's crisis at home?
Oh, absolutely.
Right, it's a fair point that I want to make. I think it's no different for a working dad or a working mom, but I would like to note that, we are women and we have to do everything. But the reality is the same for any parent that's working from home. I was not at all prepared for that 3 months being able to handle the kids. I think work was very, and is very productive. The moment we decided as a company that working from home is going to be almost a permanent situation, we found people were much more engaged, much more productive. People didn't have to worry about being caught in a jam, being late for meetings. We were also very mindful about burnout, although we didn't know what it meant the first 3 months. But having said that, the only part that I was totally not prepared is it's about the kids' education. I remember telling Robert this, that I am not trained to handle this. This is why I didn't become a teacher. And the first month was crazy, especially with my younger one. You have a small one and the elder one's a little bit more focused. And the biggest lesson I learned was to let it go.
Maybe just a final question, Shah, to sort of wrap up for today. I suppose, being a women entrepreneur, so what were the challenges, maybe the assumptions or biases that you experienced as a female leader, whether in ordinary times or, whether that changed during the pandemic?
I've got to say it out because then people like me will have to stop and think about if someone is if a woman knows what she wants, she should not be labeled aggressive. She should not be labeled ambitious. She should not be labeled right in your face, you know? And I say this because sometimes I don't give the same credit to other women. And I have to pause to think that, you know, this has happened to me too. And I think it's an important message that, you know, a lot of women say, oh, no, I don't do it, you know, and we support women all the way. There's so little women in tech on top of that. And there's more men out there, and we tend to get more encouragement from that. But I also think that women have to have a conscious thought implanted to be able to think through, because it's only when we champion another woman, there's an opportunity for that person. So I think there's no biasness for such, but I think there's always this guilt that's reflected. Like, you know, I spoke about when I wanted to become an entrepreneur, all my friends from school were stay-at-home mom, and they were there for the kids' education, and I felt guilty. My mom always feels that I should get a government job so I can get a pension. There's guilt there. There's always this guilt, and always, I think if you're a super achiever, then it's even worse for a mom want to be the super mom, right? I can be there for the piano recital. I can be there for the soccer, and I can also be there for the board meeting. And no, you can't. So extend the help that you get from your colleagues to your parents, to your husband, and not feel guilty about it. And I think you have to be content. It's okay wanting something for yourself, and your kids would really admire you for having that.
Yep, that's great, Shah. Great. I think we'll leave it there for today. Thank you very much for your time, for sharing with us your thoughts on some of these, questions on your entrepreneurial journey, and your, some of these issues revolving around, being a female leader and entrepreneur. Fantastic sharing. Thank you for your time, Shah. We could go on for hours, I think, talking about this. Maybe we'll save some time save it for another time then, right? Thank you again for your time, Shah. Very much appreciated.
Thank you, John. It's an honor, and it's always lovely talking to you. And EY, thank you for always thinking of me. And I love sharing this journey with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Shah. Have a great day.